Thanks for tuning in. Quick video on my homemade magnetic stirrer. Magnetic stirrer. I made all this for about £20. I had a couple of parts already laying around, but if you were to buy the whole lot, you're probably looking at about £25, I suppose, thereabouts. Depends on what type of enclosure you use. I've seen people that have used ice cream tubs, Tupperware tubs, that sort of thing. But I think this was £5 for the box. Can't remember the measurements, but for scale. Okay. Right. So, to buy one of these brand new from a laboratory suppliers, you're looking at about £150 ish, which is a lot of money for what it is. Very simple inside, nothing too complicated. Bit of soldering to do, but again, if you can use a soldering iron, and if you know what a resistor is, capacitor is, there's only one resistor. If needed, there's two capacitors and an IC chip, and an old computer fan. You got a 1000 home. Some people call it a rheostat. Oh God, come back to that in a minute. LED rocker switch, doesn't have to be LED, use normal rocker switch or a toggle switch. 2.5mm jack plug and socket, and a power adapter. I'll come back to that in a minute. That is it, that's all that there is to it. I'll open the lid. What I've got in here is a 94mm fan that I'd kicking around from an old desktop PC that I stripped apart. Inline fuse for the power coming in. The wall socket kicks out 500 milliamp, and that fuse is a quick blow fuse, anti-surge fuse, whatever you want to call it, rated at 1 amp. Everything in here will be able to take 1 amp anyway, but just as protection I've put that in. Not needed, not necessary, but I did. 12 volt rocker switch, don't go any lower than 12 volt. The wall socket kicks out 16 volts, believe it or not, even though it says 12 volt on the case, it kicks out 16. I still can't remember what I call this. Potentiometer, that's it. It's a 1000 ohm potentiometer. 3 poles, although you only use 2, and that gives you your variable speed. There are basic versions where people have got the power coming in to a switch, to the potentiometer, straight to the fan. Now that can cause the potentiometer to get very, very hot, and they don't last very long. It's only a carbon track in there and they don't last very long like that. So what I've done, I've made a very simple circuit, a couple of components, and it's basically a thermal cutout, and it stops this from getting hot. In fact, nothing on the board gets hot. I've got a little piece of heatsink on there, again from a strip down that I done of an old PC. I cut a piece of that off and it's screwed to the chipset. Okay, also in there, the dark blue thing is a 1 microfarad capacitor. I've then got a 330 ohm resistor, and then down here a 0.1 microfarad capacitor, which is rated at 330 ohms. Ohms. And that is it. That's all that there is in there. And half a dozen bits of wire. Very simple. There are plenty of schematic diagrams on the internet, but be careful. I followed one and it was wrong. Turned it on, wouldn't work. So I had to strip it all back down and start all over again. It's not difficult, but it's just a pain in the backside having to do it. Okay, that's all that there is in there. It's only 12 volt, so it's not dangerous in there. Put the lid back on. Glass beaker that I actually got from a laboratory suppliers. This is 100 ml. Says it on there somewhere, 100 ml, but it only marks 80, so you've got a bit of headroom there. £2. They're glass, flat bottomed, which is ideal for this. This is what laboratories use them for magnetic stirring. And also in there is a magnetic stir bar, and that's got PTFE coating on there, so it's good for using chemicals, things like that. Certainly good for vape juice, which is what I've made this for, or e-liquid, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. This is only water in this jug. There's nothing in there apart from water, just to show. Okay, this is only for show at the moment. So power on, turn dial, and then it starts to stir, creates a vortex, and then as you increase the knob, that should be good enough to stir your juice, even if it's high VG. Warm up the VG as you would do normally before putting it in your mix. And once it's all mixed, you can warm it all up again in a pot of hot water. Put it on here, and then you can just leave that. You can leave it on its own. I mean, I've left it 15-20 minutes. Come back to it, taking the top off, and everything's still nice and cool inside. And the other thing I've done on purpose was to mount the small circuit underneath the fan, so the fan keeps it cool as well, and with the heatsink on there, even better. What I need to do now is just put ventilation holes in there, and that's it, it's job done. But other than that, this is pretty much finished. All I need to do is go around and put heat shrink tubing on all my joints, because I've soldered it all together just to see if it all worked, and then when I got 5 minutes, I'll desolder it and put the heat shrink on there, so I know that everything is safe. But I mean, none of that is going anywhere, and it's all securely solid, it's all securely mounted down, and that's it. Okay, so if you went to buy everything, get it all from Matlins, you're looking at about £25 thereabouts. I think I spent, including the beakers were £2 each, and I got half a dozen stir bars, again I think for a couple of quid. I think that come to about £6 something, but shipping was £6.99, taking the mickey, but I think the whole lot stood me in about £20. Hopefully it works, hopefully it will do the job that I need it to do. I'm really happy with it. Hope you build one. If you've got any comments, any queries, drop me a message below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can with the answer, hopefully. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.